Hi everyone, it's Kylie. Today we're working on our butt and thighs workout, really focusing on those glutes, quads, hamstrings, calves, giving ourselves a full lower body workout here. Beginning with our shoulder bridge and hip roll, we're going to lie all the way down onto our backs. Bending those knees, keep them hip distance apart. Shoulders stay down nice and long, nice and relaxed down by our side. We begin in our neutral spine position, keeping that little gap underneath our lower back, hip bones nice and even. So at all stages here in our shoulder bridge, we stay off our neck and our head. We just go to our shoulders. Beginning by flattening our lower back in towards the mat. Slowly peeling that spine up to your shoulder bridge position, one vertebrae at a time, holding at the top. So if you see me from the side, you should have a straight line from your knee, hip and shoulder. Coming all the way back down, upper back hits first, then your middle back, then your lower back, back into neutral. We have 5 more here, mobilizing our spine. As we flatten down, make sure you're peeling it off one vertebrae at a time. We don't want to lift it all the way up at the same time. Keeping off our neck and head just on our shoulders, squeeze our glutes at the top. Come back down, massaging that spine. Back into the mat. All the way back to your neutral position. 4 more here. Keeping your knees and feet hip distance apart, so we don't want to shake side to side. As you're coming up and down, I want you to think like somebody's got a piece of string to those 2 hip bones. And you're nice and even as you're lifting and lowering down. One's not taking the weight for you. Just another 3 here. Taking your time to lower all the way back down. It's not a race. You work within your own time, your own movement. Last 2. Coming back down here, massaging that spine, releasing it all the way back down to neutral. On our last one, we'll be holding it at the top, flattening that lower back, peeling your spine, coming all the way up and hold. Squeezing our glutes here, we lower them down halfway, come straight back to shoulder bridge, lowering down and lift. So this will be working the backs of our legs, the backs of your glutes here as well, really squeezing every time you lift. If this does not feel right for you, you continue with those hip rolls, lowering all the way down, coming all the way back up. We have 10 more to go. For 9, remembering that piece of string. Don't let one side dominate even more than the other. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold at the top on 1. Now peel your spine, roll all the way back down towards the mat. We add on here every single time, so if it never feels right for you, go straight back to our previous modification. Flattening our lower back, peel that spine, roll all the way up to your shoulder bridge position. Squeezing that left glute here, lifting that right leg in towards tabletop. As we lift, we don't want to dip down. We want to keep those hip bones even. If tabletop is not right, you can just hover just slowly over the mat. Place it back down. Squeezing our right glute, lift that left leg in towards tabletop or as high as you can maintain. And lower back down. Every time you're lifting and lowering, you're picking it up and placing down from that exact same spot, making sure here that hip is not lowering down. You're keeping those glutes squeezed. Add on at any stages, those hands can go up towards the ceiling. Makes it a little bit more challenging for your balance as well as your backs of your legs. It's just an add-on. You don't need to do this. 1 more each side, lifting up, lowering down. Last one here, really squeeze that glute and down, peeling your spine, roll all the way back down towards the mat. Coming back up for our last progression here. Flattening that lower back. Slowly peel your spine all the way up to shoulder bridge. Squeeze our right glute first. Lift that left leg into tabletop. Remembering if this does not feel right for you, you hover it and lower and lift. Extend it out straight. Flex that foot. We lower it down just to that right knee. Point as we come back up. Flex as we lower down. Point back up. Don't forget about those two strings here on your hip bone. We don't want to lower down to one side. Keep it nice and even. Hands can go down if you need to. Last two. Last one here. Bend that knee, place it all the way back down. Squeeze that left glute. That right leg comes into tabletop. Straightening up. Flexing as we go down. Pointing back up. Hands go straight down if you need to. Remembering that supporting leg. We don't want to wobble side to side. Keep it nice and strong, nice and stable. 3 to go. 2. Lucky last one here. Back up, back into tabletop. Place that foot back down. Now we slowly peel your spine, one vertebrae at a time, coming back into that neutral spine position. Just rolling over to your left hand side here for our side series. So with our side series here, I like to use the back of my mat as a guide to keep myself in a straight line. So think your ankles need to be on top of each other, knees, hips, straightening out that underneath arm, head is resting down. If this does not feel right for your neck, you always bend that arm in. You can give yourself a little bit more height here. We want to check that our two hip bones are stacked. So we don't want one hip bone down too low or coming in towards our waist, leaving ourselves a little gap here underneath our lower back. If you're feeling quite balanced, you can leave that top hand to your hip. Otherwise, it's coming straight down here in front of you. Really switching on that core and squeezing your glutes. We lift that top leg up only as high as you can control without wobbling back and forwards and without changing the motion here of the hips. So if that top hip as I lift is coming closer in towards my waist, it's too far. I know that your leg might actually go up that high, but we're working within our control and our range. You'll get a lot more benefits out of reducing that range and working on that controlled position. Remembering that little gap underneath our lower back, or lower waist I should say. We don't want any back pressure here at all. Just little lifts and lowers. 6 to go before we hold that leg up there. 5, 4, last 3, 2, hold up on 1. Little circles up and around. So I want these circles to be so controlled, but you're not feeling like you're wobbling back and forwards when you're circling. They're just little motions here. Point that big toe. That big toe is like your paintbrush as you're circling here. For another 3, 2, 1, reverse those circles. Remembering here, this is not about how large we can circle. It's all about keeping that control. For 4, 3, 2, 1. That big toe points down, little pulses. I know that glute's starting to say, hello, what are you doing to me? But we're really working into it that little bit more for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering all the way back down. Bringing both those legs, keep them glued together, lifting as we come up. And lowering as we go down, lifting up and lowering down. So remembering here, as we're lifting up, we don't need to lift up too high. We don't want to flatten this bit down into that mat. The second we flatten, that lower back here starts to take over. We don't want any pain in our lower back. We'd rather work into those glutes. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, hold up on 1, little kicks. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember to smile, because I know you've got to smile through that pain and keep breathing for 3, 2, one lower all the way down. Turn straight onto our stomachs. We're going to work more of our glutes and our back of our legs. Placing those hands on top of each other. Head is resting down on your hands. Bring those knees out towards the side. So think like you're creating a bit of a diamond shape here. Toes and heels are glued, so knees either side of a mat. If they're too far in, this will make it quite hard and put more pressure on your lower back. So really turn them out here. Keep that head and upper body down at all times. Squeezing your glutes here, we lift those thighs off and lower back down. Little lifts up and lower. I know you might feel like you're not lifting a lot here or you're not going too high, but you're still working into those glutes, into those quads here. Just needs to be a little range off and down. For your stomach, think like you've got a little grape inside your belly button and you're squeezing that grape away from the mat so we're not squishing it. And lowering. 5 to go. 4, 3, 2, hold up, extend those legs out straight, little kicks up and down. Any lower back tension here at all, then you're going to lower straight back down. Keep those kicks still. We don't want to be wobbling side to side, so keep it nice and controlled. Squeeze that grape. I hope they haven't squished yet. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We hold. Heels come together. We tap in and out, little taps here, out and in. So really squeezing those inner thighs, squeeze those glutes, lift those legs slightly off the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way back down. Push those hands underneath those shoulders, peeling yourself all the way back up. Switching sides here for our side series on our opposite side. So exactly again, use that back of the mat as a guide here. It's a great way to set yourself up in that straight line so you don't end up on a diagonal to start. Feet are stacked, knees are stacked, hips. Hand lengthens out all the way underneath. Peeling that arm back if you need additional support here. Hips stay stacked on top of each other as well as keeping that little gap here underneath your lower back. Hand on top of your hip or out in front of you, depending on what feels best for you. We're lifting that top leg up and lowering back down. Remembering here, this is not about how high we're lifting up. This is all about our control. And down. Little lifts and lowers. Lifting and lowering. If you feel uneasy or unbalanced here, you're going to reduce that range. So even if it's just going up a few centimeters and going back down, that's still okay. We build on this every single time. 5 to go. 4, 3, 2, hold it up on one, little circles up and around. So if your hand is here on your hip as you're circling, feel as if that hip is moving. If it's starting to move and you're reducing those circles down, it's a great indication here for you. 4 to go before we reverse. For 2, 1, reverse opposite direction. That leg does not need to be high. Those circles don't need to be big. Really point your toe. Use that as your paintbrush. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Big toe points down. It's our favorite. Pulse it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Lower back down. Keep everything glued together now. Be mindful of our lower waist here. Make sure we're not flattening in. Peel it away. Lifting both legs up. And we lower back down, lifting up. So we really want to switch your core on, squeeze those glutes. If your core and glutes are not working here, that's when that poor lower back will come into play. You want to keep everyone away from lower back pressure, and I prefer you to have a better lower body and core. And down. 5 to go. 4, 3, 2. Hold up on one, little kicks back and forwards. Keep those hips still, don't wobble. Switch that core on, help stabilize you here for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Turn straight onto your back. Place that left foot up, placing on top of your right knee. Hug that leg in towards your chest for a well-deserved glute stretch here. If you do need to straighten that leg out and pull it in even further to help stretch your glute, please do so. Otherwise, you're just holding, really working into that side. Switching here, right foot on top of that left leg, pulling it in close towards you. Starting to get that breath back even more. Place both those hands underneath your knees, peeling your spine, rolling all the way up, and you are done with your butts and thighs workout. Looking forward to seeing you again soon.